A lot of people say being your own boss is such an amazing thing, but that's not true at all. 200% no. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
You want to bring your business to the next level, there's an extra commitment to do. You're going to take extra courses, you meet a lot of people, step on your comfort zone. Even though you feel like, like today I don't feel comfortable, I have to be here.
Public holiday is like non-existent on me because like sometimes I want to meet a client and the client will say, oh, that day is public holiday. I'm like, huh? Holiday ka? What is up, guys? My name is Charles Liew. Welcome to Biz Chat with Charles Liew, where we talk to real business people about real business stuff. But hey, why so serious? In this episode, we talk about the hustle, okay, about working hard. And we have three really hard workers here, okay? To my right, we have Lance Boon from Camera Lens. Good morning. We have Suli from Sloovy, and we have Ghani from Raw Juice Malaysia, okay? And we're going to dive deep into the idea of working hard because I've dealt with every single one of them and they're extremely hard workers, okay? So let's start with Lance. What is your story?
My story, well, it's not really a logical choice because when I think about it, it's more like a gut feeling.
Okay.
Like if I think about doing other works, right, I can't really concentrate.
Sure.
So my gut feeling says that I can only do photography and that's it.
But you studied accounting
Yes.
and commercial law
Yes.
overseas
Yeah.
in Australia,
Exactly.
right? So having spent so much to do that, right? Do you really believe that you just have to follow your gut to do this, or you were motivated by something else?
The study part was more like to please my parents.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because my parents are a little bit, traditional. So no matter what I do, I must have a degree, at least something to fall back on.
Understand?
Yeah.
Understand?
But after I finished that, then my parents were like, just do what I want.
Sure. Similar background. I mean, I studied law. I worked as a lawyer for 4 years, and now I'm not doing law at all, right? So, love it. Okay, so how about you? What is your story?
all right. A few years ago,
Yeah.
I got a chronic eczema. I couldn't find a single product that I could use safely on
Did
my...
you go to
yeah.
Shine Pharmacy?
Yes, until now, I always buy your sunscreen until now. I know it's a bit pricey, but it's good for my skin.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
There, it's really hard for me to find like any safe products on my skin until my doctor suggested me to try another alternative by using natural ingredients. I started doing my own research and creating my own natural handmade natural skincare, and surprisingly, it worked for me. Then,
So you
yeah.
created your own solution to your
Yeah.
own problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then I realized all those natural ingredients could be found easily from the backyard of my village in Lugu, Semangang. Yeah, as I was sourcing the ingredients around my village, I bumped into this bee farmer called Nancy. When we had a chat, I kind of surprised when I found out that half of the local farmers earn less than 200 ringgit per month.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I started to think, how could I help them? Then from that situation, it really inspired me how to start Sloovy. Sloovy is a social enterprise which empowers the farmers by getting all the natural ingredients from them
Sure.
and creating natural...
Straight from the source.
Yes, and creating natural skincare products. They are safe for people like me, especially with sensitive skin.
Yeah.
Originates from Borneo. So everything using Borneo natural ingredients.
How did
Yeah.
you actually stumble upon the mixture, like the formulation?
Okay, now we live in the era of IoT or Internet of Things. So everything you could be found from internet, like Facebook, YouTube, Google, all those kind.
What was the secret ingredient that you stumbled
Okay,
upon?
that time, ginger, lemon, stingless bee honey, local rice, huma, aloe vera.
I love that. I
Yeah,
love that.
started with that first.
Yeah.
Then Borneo coffee, as long as we could source from any local
Sure.
farmers.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Ghani, how did you get into the juice business?
Now, originally, my wife, she's a founder, okay, and then she's a vegan. So of course, like when we started off, like there's no place to eat vegan food or juices. So, and then hence she get into more depth, become a nutritionist.
Sure.
And then like
she
we open
became
our
a nutritionist.
yes,
Okay,
and then our
okay.
first juice bar back in the
Wow.
Green Heights. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as usual, of course, I started off as a non-believer. So what can the juice do for you? Detox, this kind of thing. I never heard of it before, you know. So like somehow that time I'm you know, like guys taking a lot of protein and so on, like, you know, bulking out. And then I feel like, wow, if this thing really works, why not just try it out? Okay,
Sure.
so open our juice bar together and she gave me detox and I feel out. For a non-believer, I become a believer. So we're starting off a plant-based movement.
Sure.
Okay, 100% plant-based. Be it the food or the juice. Of course, you start with the juices first because it's more familiar to the people.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, that's how we started off.
Are you a vegan now?
I'm a vegetarian now.
You're a vegetarian?
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
So actually it took a lot of commitment for me to really believe that, to really ditch the meat, chicken and so on. Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
I think it's about time for me to do so.
Are you adapted now? Like are you,
Actually, it's not that hard though. Once you know what you're eating all the time,
and you know the why you're doing it.
why is really important. Is that
And
the
the how and the
core.
what it's easy because
Yes.
because you know you want to do it, right?
Yes, but of course you cannot take it as a religion and say like, oh, if I would take meat today, I will go to hell. No, it's about when you want to feel, you want to take it or not. It's up to you yourself.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your background though? Like before getting into the juice business.
I'm a mechatronics engineer.
Oof. Come again? A megatronics.
Yeah, megatronics,
engineer.
yeah, yes.
What's that? What's a megatronic?
Now of course right now everything has evolved.
Yes.
Okay, so we talk about robot.
Yes.
Okay, so right now you can say everything is a robot. The camera itself.
Yeah.
It's a combination of mechanical components and then electrical boards and then programming inside it. That's a mechatronics.
From that, you have gone into the juice business for
Yes,
for how many years now?
7 years.
Oof, that is just beautiful. Okay. Any regrets?
I would say no, because before doing that, you know, I really want to like convince myself like why I would need to do it. I stumbled upon my cousin. He's engineer for 20 over years and then COO back in China. He took a trip back to Kuching and I have a chat with him.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
okay.
I told myself I would want to become like him.
Thank you so much for that. Okay. So we're going to a break now, guys. So when we come back, we'll talk more with our hard workers around. Okay. Welcome back to Beach Chat with Charles Liew. We are still with 3 hard workers here. Now we are going to find out what are the sacrifices that they've made, okay? Because all entrepreneurs have made sacrifices, big or small. And let's start with Ghani, okay? So what are the sacrifices you think you have made in the course of the past 7 or 8 years?
I mean like just think about the good times you can have if you are working for 8 to 5. Now if you're in the business, you can be the first person to come into the business and the last person exit. So it's true for everybody. And then if you want to bring your business to the next level, that's an extra commitment to do. You're going to take extra courses, to meet a lot of people, step on your comfort zone. Even though you feel like, you know, like today I don't feel comfortable, I have to be here, okay? Because it means stepping out of my comfort zone, I want to do more.
Yeah. So how about in terms of like family, in terms of, extended family, nucleus family, have you given up things in that regard? Like time with family, for example?
Oh, time with family is always, it's like what has passed, we can never undo.
We can't redo it as well.
Yeah. So we just move on.
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
so right now, I want to spend as much time as possible. My kids, my family, always be connected.
Sure.
That's really important.
Understand.
Yeah.
Okay. And because of past experiences that you have learned, you are now trying to find a holistic manner to running your business, would you say? Or
Yeah, definitely. No. I mean, like, by means of holistic means that you're gonna have enough time for my family, but you know, it's always not possible in terms of stuff as well. There are always a problems like you would like this stuff more than rather than other two. It's always in that case.
Yeah.
So I'm still more prone to business, to work.
Sure.
If I have a time, I just go to work.
Is work an escape or is family an escape?
Family and escape, rather like
Okay.
I would like always spend the time to always take my weekend off.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. I love to say you think is because sometimes whatever sacrifices you have made, a lot of people may think that's not a sacrifice at all, right? So it's all our perception of a sacrifice. So what sacrifices have you made?
Before COVID, I was working like literally every day because like the nature of my work is that weddings, events are always on the weekend, plus public holiday. So public holiday is like non-existent for me because like sometimes I want to meet a client and client will say, oh, that day is public holiday. I'm like, huh? Holiday ka?
Same, because sometimes a day before the holiday,
Yeah.
My staff would say, all right, so we're not coming in tomorrow. Are you gonna? I was like, what's happening tomorrow? Oh, it's Good Friday. I'm so sorry, it's Good Friday. I don't know. Right, so yeah.
Yeah, working every day. Sometimes I work on Sunday night as well.
Yeah.
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 So it's like timing is not really.
I guess that when
Yeah.
you're running your own business, would you say like it just never stops? Even if you leave your office or studio or juice bar or whatever, your brain is constantly working. When you're showering at 12 o'clock at night, all of a sudden you have something just pops in and say, I can do this, you know. And then when you get out from the shower, you just note it down before you forget. Something you dream about your business.
Yeah,
you know?
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Back then was pretty bad because like I have my computer in my room, so I'm working in my room every day. But now my workstation is at my studio, so it's like there's a little bit of work-life balance. But yeah.
Okay, understand. Have you like faced opposition from parents, from people close to you, saying like you've got a degree, why do this?
Yeah, all the time. With my parents, my mom is a bit more forgiving in the sense that she just let me do whatever I want. My dad is more like he thought that photography is just a phase. You know, like boys, like sometimes they got into something, but then after for a while they got tired of it, they got bored of it and changed something new. My dad thought that one day I'll just get bored of it and do something else. But when they found out that I was actually making money when I was studying in Melbourne all by myself,
Sure, yeah.
then they start to trust me.
Okay. So until today, would you say there's still a little bit of pressure, or do you think the pressure is gone? Like they know that Lance will never be an accountant, will never be a commercial lawyer. Like they know it's not going to happen anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, it's good. It's good. Okay. Thank you so much. How about you, Suli? What are the sacrifices you have made?
All right. Okay, what I know, a lot of people say being your own boss is such an amazing thing, but that's not true at all. 200% no. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
so actually
Okay.
it's really hard. Okay. You know, like when you have a startup, there's a lot of things you have to do. You're wearing a lot of hats.
Yes.
You are the boss. You are the marketer. You are the accountant. You are the worker.
You're the human resource.
Yeah, everything. So it's kind of like what I most sacrifice are my time, my quality time, my sleep, and my health. Because those days, 3 hours sleep per day, it was a standard for me. Because you know, I was so worried about Sloovy, keep on thinking wherever I go, if don't make sales, that kind of thing, until it affected my own mental health.
Yes.
So even talking about quality time, I didn't even spend time with my family, but my family, they really understand what I'm doing. In the beginning, they're not approve of it because, you know, my family are government servant.
Sure.
Yeah. And I did international relation and different what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So, but eventually they're okay with it. Yeah. Then after that, I lost some of my few friends because I didn't really hang out because they thought I always ghosted
That's
them.
always the case. That's always
Yeah,
the
it's
case.
really sad. So I'm kind of like a bit depressed in the early of my startup.
What sort of things happen that make them feel like you ditched them?
Yeah, because you know, I used to hang out a lot, especially on the weekend, because my friends, they work with people.
Are you like a party kind of person?
Yeah, to be honest.
okay.
That
Alright,
was the last time. I don't miss it at all. Now, every time I got a free time, I just want to sleep. Besides from that, they always thought I only hang out with entrepreneurs people, that kind of mentality. But I
Which
think,
is true.
yeah, this is what we are doing right now. Yeah, that's some of the
Yeah.
sacrifices.
Sure.
Yeah, some of the quality time with family, and besides from that, you know, the approval of people out there.
Yeah.
But now I don't care what people perception about
yeah,
you,
yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I'm just doing myself. I
Understand.
do myself. You do you, something like that.
Yeah. I guess like that's perfect, because I think eventually once we come to terms with it, we don't crave for those things anymore.
Yeah.
And so what is a sacrifice? We actually don't know what a sacrifice is.
Yeah.
It's because we have fully embraced whatever we are doing now. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I mean, from my perspective is, when I came back from Australia, I was working as a lawyer in Australia for 4 years.
Wow.
But when I came back, having spent 10 years overseas, people said, you're giving us so much. Why are you so stupid? Why are you putting your own name on a building and not a Sindram Berhad? You know how big a risk that is?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But if I had cared, things would be so different because I would feel compelled to please everyone. You know what I mean? And like I told Lance before the shoot, I said, people expected me to actually get married, right? I'm 36 now, even though I look 26. I'm 36 now, right? And I've been with my partner for more than 10 years. And, the pressure, of course, is, hey, you should get married, right? But for me, it could be seen as a sacrifice, but I don't see it that way. But I still share it because people would think that that is a sacrifice. And so I guess that's the moral of the story is that we all perceive sacrifices very differently. Okay? So guys, we'll talk more with these business people when we come back. More soon. Before I ask your advice, right? Because I would like you guys to share with our viewers what advice you would give to them, because there are a lot of business owners out there that are struggling, that are going through the same phases that we went through before, right? But before I ask them for the advice, I'd just like to share a little bit about the hustle that these guys have portrayed, okay? They are here for a reason. Now, let me start with Lance. Okay. So I remember I was posting on Facebook. I said I wanted to have my portrait taken because I have one that's like 5 years old. And so people were recommending, go to this guy, and then Lance came up. And then Lance, after his name was mentioned, he texted me. And I said, no, I'm not ready. And so he texted again, are you ready? I'm not ready. Are you ready? Not ready. At some point, when I wanted to actually have my photo taken, when I felt like I was ready, I chose him because he hustled really, really hard. He knew what it meant to actually come out and work as an entrepreneur, to never take no for an answer, to just keep asking. You said to me that, what's the worst that can happen? You say no, I go again, right? Until you say yes. If you say no again, so what? And I love that, right?
I guess the thing here is, I'm sure all of you here can agree with me, is due to our Asian culture of looking after our face.
Yes.
We always tend to feel paiseh about rejection.
Absolutely.
Or how would others feel about you.
Absolutely.
So it would naturally hinder our, our advancement towards opportunity.
Do you think like having gone to Australia actually helped?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much, right? And for Ghani, he was the first name that I came up with when I thought about the topic of hustle. It's because I remember when we started out at the same mall, not to be named, business was not easy at that time. And we shared ideas as to how to improve. And then at some point, we thought, it's really tough. But I left the mall and Ghani persisted. Right? And until today, he's doing well now. And so he was able to pivot a little bit, change things a little bit. Every time I would go to the mall, he would always be there, all the time, just standing inside. And to me, I can't do that, you know what I mean? But that is one thing that you can do, and you can do really, really well. And I think that is phenomenal. That's a sacrifice that I can never make in terms of my time, but you are able to, right? Yeah, so that's brilliant. And for Suli, we were just chatting, right? I bumped into Suli when she was doing a roadshow at Boulevard, right? Imagine if you didn't go there. I wouldn't know you, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's going nowhere if I won't bump into you. So I think it's a destiny or what, a lucky. But luck is 0.0001% in life. So
yeah, I mean, you did not choose to go to that shopping mall to do that roadshow by luck. You decided 100% because you wanted to do it.
Because it's just hustle.
Absolutely.
At that time I was desperate to go anywhere to bring Sluby out there to be known.
Yes.
Even though that day the sales wasn't really going well, but as long as I just talk people passionately about Sluby, what is Sluby doing, especially about the other side that Sluby is a social enterprise, that's already enough for me.
Yes.
Then suddenly you showed up talking about Sluby.
Because I feel like that's a fantastic story.
Yeah.
It's because yes, the sales on the day, I mean, we as entrepreneurs, we focus on sales for sure, right? But you see, sales on the day were not high. But you know what? I got to know you.
Yep.
And after a few years, we're sitting here now talking to our viewers
Whoever
in front of
thought?
the camera. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's we can never predict what's going to happen. We can only trudge along with faith, and then things will happen for you. I love that. Final thing, advice to our viewers. Okay, let's start with Suli.
Okay, Sluvi, me and Sluvi live by with this word.
Sure.
Okay, don't fall in love with your business idea, but fall in love with the impact of your business. Okay, why? If you fall in love with your business, you kind of like always think that your business idea is always on top, even though you don't realize it's getting worse. It's like shock sendiri lah. Yeah. So look on the impact or the
Sure.
result.
Yeah.
If the result is bad, just move on to the next project. Simple, easy. Don't make your head like, this. Oh, don't overthink. That's the word. So that's my advice. Do what you love.
Now, how about Lance?
Advisors. Okay, so it is our human nature to compare.
Oh yeah.
So what I do believe in is that rather than compare yourself with the people around you, just compare with yourself. I received this advice from another photographer. He says that just compare with you and yourself from last week. Just aim to be better than you are last week. So from there, it will keep you moving.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that has helped you along.
Yeah,
in
of
your
course,
journey.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if you start to compare with people, it's
Yeah.
never ending.
Yeah, because people creative people in general, we have high ego.
Yes.
So we always look at our work and then we'll feel that, other people's work is inferior or much better than
Sure.
ours.
Yeah.
So if you do that, it's very, very depressing.
Yep. I love that it's because from my point of view, it's exactly the same. I mean, for my business, I don't compare at all to other people. That doesn't mean we don't observe them, but we don't compare ourselves to them. In fact, when we observe what they do, we learn what not to do, right? If they're going down that path, sure, let's not go there. So it's to be aware without comparing and sink into that hole whereby you just feel inferior or you feel, all these emotions, because as entrepreneurs, we deal with enough emotions already. So we can do without those negative emotions, right? So brilliant. How about you, Gani? Any advice for our viewers?
Now, of course, I want to let people know that it's very different. If you want to become a businessman or entrepreneur, you gotta really it's as a really visible line in between.
Sure.
Because if you're a businessman, you do no matter what it takes, either dirty or good, you're doing just for the sake of profit.
Yep.
You don't care about what kind of impact you do on the community.
Yeah.
But then being an entrepreneur is very different because first of
yeah.
all, you want to have passion, you want to take your time, you want to have giving value back to people, to the community.
In the world. Yeah.
Make a change.
Yeah.
So that's one people to really differentiate about.
Yes.
Yes, entrepreneur and businessman, we're different.
Sure. I love that as well. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they're able to persist more than business people is because it's run by numbers, it's run by profits. If that is your driver, it's so hard to keep the momentum doing the same thing because you will always jump to the next thing that produces more in terms of profits. But if you're an entrepreneur, you are so clear as to the change you want to make in the world. You're so clear as to who you are as a person, right? Helping the farmers, right? Helping the farmers reminds me of the Starbucks thing as well. They're helping
the
coffee farmers, right? And so to cut out the middle person and to bring more profits to the impoverished, to the poverty-stricken. And I feel like that. I love hearing that from you. It's because I think that model clearly works for Starbucks, and if you buy into that vision, it's gonna work for you.
Yeah,
as well.
I even learned from the business model, besides from Starbucks, body shop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so that is all for this episode, guys. I hope you have learned a little bit about hustle and how to hustle. If you need more, you can always Google about hustle. All right. So until the next episode, it is bye from us. Bye bye.